Congratulations! Now that you're a VIP, your Faster Way app is going to look a little bit different. Let's see how. So when you open up your app, you now have access to so much more information. However, we are still going to focus on the key metrics that we learned in our 21-day reset. That is our water intake, fasting, hitting our macro goals, and adding in our workouts when we can. So the things may look a little bit different, but ultimately our goals are still the same. Okay, so let's jump in and talk about our food first. So you go to the very bottom, the fork and knife, just like you used to. But if you notice on your home screen, you now also have all these nutrition options. And you still have the option to have your meal plans populate into your week. And that is actually what I have done here. I have accepted that. Sorry about the texting. What you will notice is if you scroll down, this is today, I have populated all of the meals from the meal plan into here. And again, just like in the past, you can go in and edit by dragging the item to the left. You can change your servings, you can remove it, and you can easily customize. So for instance, let's remove this just to see what it looks like. Okay, perfect. Now, if you want to follow the meal plan that you started with your 21-day reset, you can absolutely do that. However, we also have amazing weekly meal plans that come out. Those come out via email. However, you can also see them if you click up at the top where it says Recipe Library. You can see where your VIP weekly meal guides are. So if you're doing vegan, you see that option. If you're doing the other one, you click here, and this is where your meal plan is listed out. And you can see everything that you need here for the whole week, which is great. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. You still have the ability to make all the customizations you want, but you also now have access to even more information. So if you wanna try something different, maybe for the holidays, you can click on 15-minute recipes. You can dig through and see what you want. Bonus recipes, different ways to cook, prepare, so much information. If you feel like you're in the mood for a salad, you have access to all of that. So that is great. Tracking goes the same way that you've always been doing it. You just have access to more information now. So let's pop back to our home screen. You obviously still track our water the same. Go down, hit save. And again, you are still also tracking stars. And as you move into VIP, you actually can also get benefits for having stars, and stars are gained, which would be seen up here on the top left, by hitting your water, by fasting, by hitting your macros, and by moving through your workouts. So great thing to keep doing. It keeps you moving. Macro goals are still here. We are going to be dialing in our macros a little bit, and I will be showing you how to do that, but those will always be reflected here in your app. Okay. And then last but not least, in this section, I want to really dive into the workouts. So if you go down to the play button at the bottom in the middle, little arrow with the circle, this is where all of your workouts are. So you now have access to the weekly workouts. So if you want to just do the weekly workouts and keep moving through them, they are static and they're not static. They are new workouts coming in every month. You can click on that and you see the workouts. And they're all listed here. However, if you want to mix it up, if you want to do something a little bit different, you also have access to so much more now. If you want to do a HIIT workout, if you want to do a strength or an active recovery, you have access to all kinds of other things here as well. So you get to decide. Another great thing is if you are walking, you can absolutely track it. So if you click on walk, you can log a walk. And that also counts towards your stars, and that also counts towards tracking your movement, which is great. Okay, one last thing, and this is the little clipboard at the bottom. This has all kinds of other resources. So in the past, if we've ever done a training, if we've ever focused on something, you can see it all listed here. You have access to your new client program. If you want to go back and, rewatch, re-listen to something, all of it is here. We also have lots and lots of different programs, how to edit, all the things. I see a little bit more here only because I have the coach access, but you will see lots of stuff here as well. And you would have access to, one of my favorite ones to listen to is the Science of Cortisol. That was a really great training. If you're somebody that's, heard the word cortisol and wants to know a little bit more, Stephen Cabral is one of the top people to listen to on it. And there's a great training there. So those are the basics of how the app may look different. If you have any questions, I'm absolutely here to help. Continue tracking. That is what is going to keep you on course. I promise if you even over the holidays, if you can hit a couple of these metrics, if you can focus on your water, focus on your protein, maybe focus on adding a little bit more movement, you will feel better, even if you're not hitting it perfectly.